In Marrakech, I think real estate will continue to fly.
This is my third time in Marrakech, and every time I come back, I notice something different. A new road, a new hotel, another construction site. The city just keeps changing.
And every single time I come back, something has changed. A new hotel, a new restaurant, a new apartment building, more tourists and businesses. Yeah, you know what? More money flowing in the cities.
But why? Before we answer that question, there's someone you will meet later in this video who understands Marrakech from a completely different perspective.
So, and coming to Marrakech this time around, I learned something.
This vibe about Marrakech, it started like, I would say 20 years or 25 years ago, and it's growing. And every time people say that it gets saturated, and it never gets saturated because...
But first, there's a place I've always wanted to visit and experience for myself. Welcome back to Marrakech. Like I said, this is my third time here, and somehow every visit feels different. And this time, I tried to stay in Guéliz, one of my favorite neighborhoods in the city. I found this Airbnb for $60 per night. I love staying in Airbnbs because they make me feel connected with the city rather than just visiting it.
So, this is the room, this is the parlor. Apartment is very big, like it's a very big apartment. Like very big, man. See. House almost everywhere. I think there is 1, 2, 3, 4.
After settling in, it was time for breakfast.
I want to find a breakfast to eat. Then from there,
and that morning I met a young French woman at a restaurant. We ended up sharing a table, and what started as a simple breakfast quickly turned into a fascinating conversation.
how's Marrakech?
I really like Marrakech. It's not my first time here, and I'm traveling alone this time.
She told me Marrakech had become her favorite city in Morocco, a place where she feels at home, a place she keeps coming back to, and she also said how visiting Morocco influenced her journey to embrace Islam.
Oh, nice. Then you open it again.
Listening to her, I realized something. For some people, Marrakech is not just another destination. It's a city that leaves the lasting marks on your life.
Okay. And the level is very high,
Nice.
very high. And for the price, like the price quality ratio, very good, very good. So, for example, for the price, in French, it would be 1%.
1%?
Yes.
Wow.
After breakfast, it was time to head out. But one thing that makes traveling around Morocco much easier for me is staying connected. These days, I don't even bother looking for a local SIM card. I simply activate my Agafay eSIM before I travel. The moment I land, I am connected, whether it's finding directions, booking transport, replying to emails, or uploading content on the go. If you're planning a trip to Morocco or anywhere else, you can use my code for Agafay or simply use the link in the description below to get a discount on your Agafay eSIM.
The amount of time I've spent traveling around Morocco and Marrakech, it's become very easy because of Agafay. So Agafay is one thing that you need for you to be able to enjoy your trip to Morocco. Without it, you can't, because sometimes you might be moving through the mountains, moving through the snows, and the only thing that will save you is your phone. And when you have an Agafay eSIM, life becomes easier for you. So guys, invest in Agafay and make sure that you use it.
Now, let us continue. Most visitors head straight to Camel. I've been there before, so this time I wanted something different. I wanted to experience another side of Marrakech. So we left the city and headed toward the Agafay Desert. Honestly, the landscape was so beautiful, but what stayed with me the most was the people. The Moroccan Spanish family welcomed me and my friend with incredible hospitality. A moment like this remind me why I love traveling. Sometimes the people become the highlight of the journey.
This is Agafay Desert, and it's the most popular place that people used to come and have fun. So I'm here now to just do some of the activities and have fun.
Hasta el Sáhara y del Sáhara, pues bueno, vamos a ir a cenar. Nos iremos de aquí hasta a partir de las 10. Mi primo.
Yo soy su hermano. Yeah, Agafay Desert is a place which is not a real desert. It's just a rocky desert, which is far from Marrakech city, just 40 minutes, between 40 to 1 hour. Okay, and here you can experience too many things. For example, the camel ride, quad bike, and we have also the possibility to do the boogie in case you want it. Okay.
Imagine you're on Camel, you are watching the Atlas mountain covered with clouds, and also the sunsets slapping on your face. Yeah, you take your hand down. Do like this, you do your hand there.
One, two, three.
In addition to that, we have also the opportunity to have like a Moroccan dinner under a tent.
They're going for the dinner. Démarrer, à bombarder, à bombarder, à bombarder.
So guys, anyone who come to Marrakech, just come to us. You are very welcome with me.
Good. Your name?
My name is Abdul Haq.
Abdul Haq.
Yeah.
Later that evening, we made our way back into Marrakech, and that is when I started noticing it again.
The amount of construction that is going on in Marrakech is crazy. Like almost everywhere they are constructing something. Constructions there and constructions there.
Constructions, new development, more cranes, more roads. It feels like every corner of the city was preparing for something bigger.
So today I walk into the neighborhood that is kind of one of the oldest, and it has this amazing old vibe of how Marrakech used to be, and old buildings. So, and I met up with someone, a Pan-Africanist, a Moroccan that has business that has been to like more than 24 countries. The perfect person to ask about businesses in the city, because this is where she's from. She's from Marrakech. A lot of questions to ask her, and we're gonna have a coffee together, and she's gonna tell me about Marrakech in the past, opportunities in Marrakech, and the future of Marrakech. So, guys, let's meet.
So I started with Kawtar, Marrakeshi, and a Pan-African strategist whose work has taken her across more than 20 African markets. And as someone who has seen these cities go across the continent, I wanted to hear her perspective, and honestly, this turned out to be one of the most insightful conversations I have had about any African city. So I hope you stay with us, because what she shared completely changed the way I see Marrakech.
Kawtar Ait El Haj. I'm Moroccan. I'm from Marrakech originally. What can I say about me? I mean, it's a tough question, because sometimes people think about it like from a professional side. I'm a human being who love life, who do love life, who's into humanity first, kindness first, and then what it comes after. Very ambitious. I'm a very career person also, and I love traveling. And I think it's one of the things that I have realized in my life is the fact that I have been traveling and seeing different culture, different things. So I have my own company, which is an advisory boutique. We work around the continent, the African continent. And this is why I call it Pan-African Advisory, because I'm a very big Pan-Africanist, and I believe on our continent that can thrive.
So you have traveled across Africa and beyond.
So, what makes Marrakech different from cities you have experienced?
So Marrakech is actually a specific. It's an energy first. It's a history. It's an energy. It's a vibe. So this is, I think, the the weather first. You feel like by the time you put foot in Marrakech, you're just like you're relaxed and everything. And the history of Marrakech is one of the empire capitals. It has a lot of history to say. The walls says history. I'm someone who, when traveling, I do love seeing culture. I do love capturing that old energy and everything. So Marrakech for me is that it's my city and I love it. And I honestly, I'm going to say that in the two quotes is that I hate the new trendy Marrakech, Instagram Marrakech, because it's not giving the vibe of the real Marrakech and the spirit of it.
Who is there? So, what do you think millions of people keep choosing Marrakech?
I think the sun first. I think the mix of what you could find, because you have like you want modern city, you want old city, you want the Sahara, you want the mountains, you have everything, and I think it's that multicultural and from the monument side and cultural side, and also the hospitality. So when you visit Morocco, every city has its own vibe. And Marrakech, her own vibe is like chill and relax and enjoy the life.
Okay. So, what do you think Marrakech is offering or selling that other African cities are not?
Oh, wow.
Your own opinion, your own views.
So I think the first thing that strikes people is the color, the red city. I think you cannot find something similar elsewhere in the world, so that is one. The second thing, and I think the warmth of the people, and that is very much important. So Moroccans in general are very hospitable and very warm toward people, unless you do something wrong to them. I have to precise that. But yeah, I think also it's about,
What's the language?
yeah, I mean, there is the language though, but it's not only the language, because I do remember when I was young, a lot of people do not speak even French, but yet with the tourists, there is always that communication, it's about that, I think that's vibe and the way that people attracts you.
Okay.
And I would say the weather. The weather, because I have asthma. I didn't discover that I have asthma until I went out of Marrakech.
Yeah.
So the weather is very nice, and also like dry weather. Even though like in the summer it's getting so hot, it's like desert temperature, but you are dry, completely dry. That is one. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even my hair feels very, very relaxed when it's in Marrakech.
Now,
Yeah.
come to this question. Has tourism helped Marrakech more than it has hurt it?
Sorry?
Has tourism helped Marrakech more than it has hurt it? Like,
Yes, it
okay.
did.
Tell us about it.
I think it's linked. It's linked to Marrakech itself because it's offering a lot. I mean, like, if you really want to rejuvenate, Morocco could give you that. If you want a nightlife, you can have it. If you want just like a chill and relax, you'll have it. If you want like to study history, it is there. If you want to be mixed with local and enjoy life, that is the best. And that's what I advise people, because Marrakesh people are like one of a kind of a people. But I think also this trend of Instagram has give it like a big side to it. Like now it's more about trendy places, trendy Instagrammable places. So for me, it's losing its charm toward that trendy. I would love that people come to Marrakech to live it and not just like to just trend it.
So, do you think Marrakech is becoming too expensive for locals?
From a real estate, yes. From a real estate point, I would say yes, because you have a lot of jet set who are coming. There is a lot of real estate that is built up. People are building their retirement houses here. You have celebrities now who are settling in the city. So yes, it made it expensive for the local because salaries and everything doesn't follow that trends that is coming in that. For someone who has been in the sub-Saharan region, I still see that Morocco is not expensive, and I am still seeing it because I have seen countries that doesn't have nothing, but they are like expensive as, I always say, like expensive as Dubai, and without having the luxury of the quality of Dubai. At least in Morocco, you have the quality and the vibe and everything, but it's not that expensive, believe me. But I do understand the local because of the salary situation that it doesn't follow. Yeah, but I think it's time to not rely on salaries and just go and out of comfort zone and do something for yourself.
But have you noticed neighborhoods changing because of real estate, Airbnbs, and tourism?
Yes, they do. And I mean, one of my biggest wish is because I'm not like a crowd person. I don't like crowd much. So you are lucky that this weekend we are here because generally when I came with my parents, we go like to the farm and we stay there. It's 26 kilometers from.
What's the name of the place?
So it's Chouetter. It's the road to Fez. It's called Chouetter. It's like facing the Atlas Mountains. Yeah, it's a small place. My parents has done, and we go stay there, like in the calm. There is no cars, no nothing. It's just like you harvest, you eat what you harvest, and that is the beauty of it. But I'm not a crowd person. Even like I'm from Marrakech, but you will not find me going to Jamal Fna all the time because I will be panicking like hell. And people think that I'm very much social. I'm not. I'm an ambivert.
It's hard to find you. Very hard.
Yes.
I'm so lucky.
Yeah, you are. You are. I'm an ambivert person, so I have my social
Range.
limits. Yes, I have a threshold of social life. Yeah. So, but to your question, I'm just trying to find the right answer to it. Yes, the real estate has changed. There is too much Airbnbs, but that is also like it has two sides. That is a revenue for people, which is good, but now it's becoming too much, and you have a lot of people are coming. It's not like respecting the locals, and this is one of the side effects of it. It's just like and respecting the the apartments of people, the real estate of people, the way they do in the sound, the noise, and everything. So I like what the mayor of Marrakech is starting doing. Now there will be something very new, is that residential areas or residential area, Airbnbs will be separated from the residential area. And I think this is very much to respect the resident because, you know, every city has a season of tourism. Marrakech do not have any more a season. It's 365 a year. So locals are going crazy with those peoples and everything. And also there is other thing that Marrakech lost, I would say, is that people do not respect the locals from the way they dress also. This is like not respecting. I've seen that yesterday. My sister, I was not living in the country for more than 12 years. Yeah, no, that's not right. Respect the country, respect the locals, and yeah, you could dress to a certain extent, but there is a limit. There is a limit. I'm not saying no, you should cover or do something. We are not to that point, but there is a limit, and that is one of the things that I don't like. So this separation of residential and Airbnb would limit that friction between the locals and those who are coming to for the nightlife, especially because the nightlife in Marrakech is something.
So is Marrakech still full of opportunities?
Oh, yes.
Or is it becoming saturated?
No, it is not. That is one of the things I've seen about Marrakech is that, this vibe about Marrakech, it started like, I would say 20 years or 25 years ago, and it's growing. And every time people say that it gets saturated, and it never gets saturated because you always find something. And the richness of it to satisfy every segment of tourists is what is important. I forgot about one segment that is very much and very dear to my heart. Is just like galleries, art. Oh my God. Wow. The art part, the museum parts and everything. And just like in this area of Gueliz, you will find a lot of beautiful galleries and everything. I'm someone who loves curating, so I do it like as a part-time. Wow. And yeah, just come. You will have a lot of artists here.
So what businesses do you think will benefit most over the next 10 years?
The business.
That will benefit most over the next 10 years.
Here in Marrakech, I think real estate will continue to fly, that's for sure. Restaurants and rooftops will be always something that, we say, we have a say in Morocco, it says like, if you want to win in a business, go into food business, because just Moroccans are foodie. Exactly. Moroccans are foodie. So can you imagine the tourists that are coming? The Moroccan gastronomy is something that you cannot get off of it. And I always say to people, in Morocco, you could eat a different dish at lunch and at dinner for 365 days.
I like this point also.
Because the diversity is massive. People know like what is known right now is just like what I would say 10% of the gastronomy of Morocco, because people know the tagine, pastilla, but there is a lot,
You just have to discover it.
Yeah.
Okay, so is Marrakech just a tourist city, or could it become something bigger?
I could say it could be becoming something bigger. I think I'm going to talk about the cultural part. I think monetizing the cultural part and making it valuable more, I think something that will build a different kind of tourism, but also educational, like building schools that thrive that cultural part. And I think from another point is that the industrial side of artisanal, like traditional artisanal, would be something that's thriving, and it's already thriving. If you go to the industrial side of Sidi Ghanem, or you would see, because people think that industry is only about cars and whatever, but there is that traditional part that is thriving, and I love about Morocco that is pushing it also from that side. The third thing, it's anything about leather. So the business in leather in Marrakech, it's something that would thrive. I don't think something would make me leave Marrakech. Impossible. That's my city. It's part of me, and it's part. And this is what I always say to people. We Moroccans, we are fed patriotism since we were. It was, yeah, in the bottle. Morocco. We could leave Morocco, but Morocco would never leave us.
Always.
Oh yeah, it's in the blood.
Even as a traveler, if you come to Morocco, if you get addicted to Morocco, that's over.
And this is exactly, and this is the thing, is that when you come for trendy stuff, Definitely, you will come and go. But when you live it in the proper way, in the simple way, I mean, I'm not saying, because there is for all segments. If you want luxury, you have luxury.
Yeah.
If you want medium, you have medium. If you want like popular, you have popular. And I love the medium and popular. And the popular side is what really, if you really want to love a country, you have to go that side. And this is where you feel it. Because that is what opened the mind. And this is what I did every time I travel. Because for me, traveling, you will never see me going to trendy places. You will see me going to where the local goes, because I want to see, I want to observe, I want to feel that thing, because that's what changes your mind about a country, positively or negatively, it depends.
So now, this one is like the end. Do you think people will look at Marrakech as a success story or as a city that become a victim of its own popularity?
For me, it's a city that is still thriving, but anything that thrive, they bump into struggles, and then they continue. And what is important is to continue. It is a victim of its success story, definitely, but now it's up to us and up to the mayor, and I'm just like whoever there, she or someone else or whoever. I'm not into politics a lot, and all of that, but just find a way to make it continue thrive, and that is what is very much important. That's what the late mayors that I did know from my past, El Jazouli, did, and I do respect him for that, because he has been resilient about Marrakech. And I think one of the things that why Marrakech kept the spirit is that he
Has a good
vision for that, and the Basha of Marrakech, of course, and everything. But just like, yeah, it will hit the wall at some point of time, but it will continue. Any city continue, and it's not like, I mean, Marrakech was not born yesterday.
So what's your advice for the locals?
For the locals, think differently, thrive, and don't look at the negative sides. Look at the bright side, and whatever it is negative, try to make the positive out of it, and not just like just get deeper on that negative. Marrakesh is beautiful, and it will remain beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're
You give me a
welcome.
very different perspective of Marrakech.
You're welcome. You have been so lucky that I accepted to do that, because I never accept, like, even business interviews and everything, I refuse.
Yeah,
I don't do
This is
it.
about your city now.
So it's
Thank
about
you.
Marrakech either way.
Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Before this trip, Marrakech was simply one of my favorite cities in Morocco. But after everything I've experienced, the people I met, the connection I had, and seeing how far this city is evolving, I understand why so many people keep coming back and investing here. And I have a feeling that this won't be my last visit. If you enjoy this journey, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. There are many more stories like this from Morocco and across Africa. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.